I would like to introduce you Burke Anderson. Burke is again a candidate for the state assembly for Nevada District 15. So Burke, tell us a little bit about you.
Alrighty. Um, well, my name is Burke Anderson. I am running for the Nevada State Assembly, District 15. I've lived here in the Vegas Valley in this district for about 8 years now. For those of you who are familiar with the Vegas Valley, I'm basically in between Flamingo and Charleston and Eastern and Nellis. That kind of forms the box, and that's basically where I'm at. Um, One thing I like to point out is before I actually started or moved here to Vegas, I actually was the vice elected as the vice chairman of the Ventura County Libertarian Party. So that's actually where I got my feet wet, so to speak, into politics. Now, as soon as I moved here to Vegas, I actually worked a bit on signature gathering for petitions. And I worked on two pretty big ones here in Vegas, or in Nevada, I should say. And I worked here in Vegas on them. One of them was for the mandatory background checks on gun sales, which has subsequently has passed. Took a little while, but they got it through. The other one that I did a lot of time and effort on, which a lot of people are aware of, is the decriminalization of marijuana. I worked on that campaign for close to 6 to 8 months, um, pretty much the entire duration of the campaign. And I gathered close to 10,000 signatures. And without my signatures, from what I was told, is that the initiative wouldn't have actually gotten on the ballot. So I'm pretty proud of that. Also here in Nevada, I worked for a company called Bishop, which was a first responder unit. We go out during national disasters, forest fires, and all that, and feed the firemen. I started as a cook. After a little while, I ended up becoming the inventory manager, which basically, we were a small city. We would feed anywhere from 250 to 5,000 people, and I became the inventory manager. Then here a little bit more locally in Vegas, I worked pretty closely with the Vegas Yang Gang. I was lucky enough to get the assignment or the job of being the official videographer for Andrew Yang whenever he came here. So that was pretty cool. I also am one of the co-hosts of Yang Gang Report Live, and it's a pretty big show. I am also the creator of a lot of people know of Rideshare for Yang, which is basically I was a rideshare driver and I'd go out and talk to people about Andrew Yang, introduce him most of the time. Most people remember the blackout. They didn't remember really who he was or know who he was. And I also told a lot of people for the first time about universal basic income and what it was. And that pretty much inspired me to come to where I'm at now. So that's a little bit me in the nutshell. I can go into what I'm running on, or we can cover that stuff later.
Yeah, actually, that was on my next question. Why you are running for your district?
Okay. Well, the main thing I started running on was I wanted to get UBI for Nevada, a universal basic income for Nevada. I'll touch back on that in a second. But now one of my main things is actually the whole COVID-19 and all that, and cleaning up Nevada. The state of Nevada needs to get ahead of the other states and implement methods that have been used by other countries successfully to help flatten the curve. We're one of the hardest ones being hit with all gambling, not just the Las Vegas Strip, but all gambling in the state of Nevada has stopped. And that's we need to get that back on and work on trying to get it safe for businesses to reopen. So that's one of the main things. Now, as far as my UBI, I am trying to get a UBI for Nevada. We have a lot of different industries here that on normal times are doing quite well and making a lot of money, such as gaming, cannabis, the mining. I'd like to put a little onto that, take it into a fund, combine it, give it back to the citizens that have lived here in Nevada. In a nutshell. I go more into detail on my website, and feel free to check it out. The other thing that I'm pretty passionate about and I want to work on is expanding education, especially vocational education for high school and community college. We've kind of got it in the country where everybody has to go to college. You have to go to college. You have to go to college, which is great. And there's a lot of industries where you do have to go to college. But we have a shortage of engine or not engineers, but of carpenters, of plumbers, of electricians. We need people to focus more on that. And I'd like to help form some sort of public-private partnership to encourage apprenticeships, starting at the high school level, so they can get there and they can learn and even have it for school credits and then have it transferred over. Um, I'd also like, I'm in favor of ranked choice voting. Leave that kind of just stand how it is. We all know what that is. And I'd also like to bring in Nevada voting dollars, which is pretty much the same thing as democracy dollars, but for the state of Nevada. Those are the main things that I'm really hoping to get accomplished.
That's an ambitious agenda, and I very much like it. Um, you haven't mentioned healthcare.
Yeah, I mean that definitely needs work. I mean there's a lot of things that need work. I am in favor for healthcare for all. I mean I personally, being a rideshare driver, I have a blood disorder where I have to take medicine myself um, every day now for the rest of my life. And I also have to get tested, have my blood levels tested. I'm in the situation myself where at the end of a certain amount of time, I have to pretty much take off work and stop working. Because if I make too much money, I'll lose my health insurance.
Mm.
That's not right, you know. Um, and I definitely want to, I'm going to be in support of that. As far as, am I going to sit here and say I have an exact plan right now? No, I'm not a career politician, um, but it is something that definitely concerns me, and I feel it myself.
Thank you for sharing, Burke.
No
Uh,
problem.
that's one of the big problem in the U.S. You mentioned two things that you know I think it's important, especially for the youth, due to the automation of a lot of sector in the economy, and that's gonna increase rapidly. Right. Well, I mean, with that crisis, um, is apprenticeship. It's very big in Europe, but it's very limited here. So,
Yes, I'm
and
aware. Yeah,
vocational training, not a lot of a lot of high school students are forced to go to college when actually they should go to vocational school and learn a trade. There's technical trades that are highly highly compensated, um especially, I mean, in technology, in the construction business, etc. So I think that's a good thing that you push that.
thank you. The one thing I'd like to kind of follow up with or go over, I just want to make sure I get it out there, is, why the Yang Gang specifically should care about my race. There's multiple conditions that have come together that are favorable for unseating an incumbent.
Mhm.
The Nevada State Assembly, District 15, has 50% registered Democrats, 19% Republicans, and 24% no partisan preference. I'm running as a Democrat. Now, last time in 2018, out of the 64,359 residents, um, 30,420 are registered to vote. So roughly 50% of the residents. Now, in 2018, only 2,789 Democrats voted in the primary, or 18%. The current incumbent only won with 1,275 votes, which means his name recognition is fairly low. Now, the current incumbent has only served one term, so he's really not that entrenched. Now, the state race is being conducted separately from the Nevada presidential caucus, and the caucus here has already happened. Now, because of the coronavirus and all that, this primary is going to be 100% mail-in primary. And there's nobody else that's going to be running because it's just me and the incumbent, and it's already closed. So the door's already closed. Nobody else can even run. Now, I'm expecting a pretty low turnout. And historically speaking, low turnouts are really how incumbents are the most vulnerable. And my primary is on June 9th, which is about 2 months away, a little bit less than 2 months now. So if I can win the primary, I have, I'm not going to say a shoe-in to be for the general, but my district is so heavily Democrat that, you know, the odds are greatly, greatly in my favor. And what I really need is help from the Yang Gang for fundraising, to helping me get my name recognition out there just in my district. And that with the UBI and trying to clean up Nevada, I'm really sure that I'm really have a good shot at winning this. And then helping bringing humanity forward message into actual government here in Nevada. You know, you definitely will have a voice with me. So, and I would like people just to mainly just go to my website. It's real simple. It's burke4nevada.com. And, you know, I could really appreciate you guys' support.
Thank you.